Hey guys, let's workshop the first line of a novel.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Hamish Taylor was late. Problem: boring, unimaginative, generic.
This sets the scene and the characters, sure, but it doesn't say anything about why he's late. It doesn't say anything that's interesting, and it doesn't say anything about why someone should care. Let's fix that.
Hamish Taylor was 30 minutes late for school again. Problem: still too generic, no context.
This is getting better. We know Hamish is often late, and we know he's a high school student, but it's still nowhere near enough information to make him interesting, so let's try again with adding a few more details.
Hamish Taylor slept clean through his alarm and was 30 minutes late for school again. Problem: no reason to care.
So Hamish slept through his alarm. So what? Who cares? Why are we reading about a kid who is sleeping through his alarm at this stage in this story? We need to give people more of a reason to entice them to read on, so let's add more details.
Hamish Taylor slept clean through his alarm and was 30 minutes late for school again, which meant his mother hadn't broken down his door and dragged him out of bed like she'd threatened to last time. Problem: too clunky and long.
Okay, so that's kind of a hint, but it's still not enough to get people interested at this stage of the story. An astute reader might be able to pick up on the fact that there's something odd about his mother not being there to wake him, but there's no reason to be this vague this early on in the story when we're trying to really grab people and pull them along. Also, this is a kind of long and clunky sentence, so let's condense that down a bit.
Hamish Taylor was 30 minutes late for school and, in his rush to get there, failed to notice the first clue that his mother was missing. Problem: still a bit clunky, not quite enough interest.
So you can see we're getting into the guts of it now. So that's why we're reading about him being late, because he was rushing and therefore didn't notice that his mother wasn't home and wasn't able to be suspicious of why, though we're supposed to be suspicious of why. But still, there's no reason to be this vague this early, so let's just go for the throat.
If Hamish hadn't slept 30 minutes past his alarm, he might have had enough time to spot the first sign of his mother's murder. Problem: it needs tidying, but it's better.
There's no reason to dance around the fact that his mother had been killed. That's the whole reason why Hamish's life is interesting at this moment, and that's the reason why we are reading this story. The eventual discovery of this horrible thing is what's going to keep everybody reading along for the first few chapters. So now, in one sentence, we have met the character. We know he's a little bit lazy and likes to sleep in. We know he's probably a high school student because he lives with his mother. And we know that he's about to have his world turned upside down when he discovers what's happened to her. There aren't any rules to writing an opening line, so don't get bogged down in it. Just know that if you start small and keep writing it down over and over again, you will come up with something better than what you started with. That's the video for this week. Everybody, good luck if you're doing first sentences, and we'll see you next week.